Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. I just wanted to let you know that I made the quiz 1 available for you. So if you go to assignments, then quiz 1, so you will see that quiz 1 is available. To solve quiz 1, you need to read at first book chapters 1, 2 and 3 and lesson 1 and lesson 2. So you can click those lessons from here, and I hope you all have the book. So it's better if you read the lessons. Let's go to the lesson. Before I go to the lesson, I would like to let you know that I added 2 attempts for each quiz. So that means after finishing the quiz, if you find that if you take it again, maybe you will do better, or maybe you did something wrong, then you can again take it, and I will actually keep the highest marks. So let's say you got in the first attempt, let's say 10. I don't know how many marks you will get, because it will show up later if you feel like you get less. If I find that you get 10, let's say 5 out of 10, and in the next attempt you got 8 out of 10, I would keep the 8 out of 10 so that you can increase your grade in the quiz. If you go to the lesson, let's say go to the lesson 1, and then you can go inside the lesson 1, the commentary. So in the commentary, you will see that I described the variable, sample, population, and all those statistics. So you need to read this lesson 1, and then you will see that there are some examples that is given here. Let's show you, let's say the example for Z statistics that you need to calculate. So you can calculate the Z score, and then you can see whether you are getting the same numbers or not. Also for class mark, class midpoint, so you will see that there are examples. Same thing in the textbook. So you will see that I have given you many examples, and then if you solve those examples and match with the textbook solution, then it might be easier for you to understand. Also, I'm keeping office hour, so you can drop by my office hour, then we can talk, and then you can see whether you are on the right direction or not. So while I was keeping office hour this week, one student was asking me, I would like to let you know about the notation for population mean and notation for sample mean, why they are different. Because in the population, you will see that whenever we use all observation or all data points from a population, that means we have everything, then we can calculate the mean of the variable. The variable means, let's say we want to know what is the income of all people in Canada. If I have the data, then what would be the average of the income using the population data. Then we can use the population symbol mu. But whenever we calculate using the sample, then you will see that sample symbol is changing, because depending on what people use, let's say X, Y, Z, you will see that people are using different variable notation, and then this one will change. But in most of the books, most of the site, you will see that the population mean symbol is not changing. Same thing for this population variance. That means whenever you use the population data, then you will see that we have to use the population variance symbol, sigma square, and we have to use the population mean. But then again, you will see the in the denominator we should have the population size. But whenever it comes to the sample, the equation is similar, but we are using the sample. We have to use the sample notations. That means sample variance, and then you will see that it dividing by n minus 1 small n minus 1 small n means how many observation you have in that sample. Let's say we have 10 people, that means 10 minus 1 in our sample we have to use for calculating sample variance. So you have to take the square root if you want to calculate standard deviation. So these two equations, this first one and this second one, you will see that they are actually same. They're not different, because if you write it in laboratory, then you will see that you will end up with this equation. I prefer this equation because it's easier to calculate. For each observation, for each data point I have to take the square of them and then sum them. And then the next one is that I have to take add all those values, then I have to square them. That means you have to sum them first, then you have to square. But the first one is that you have to take the square for all data points, then sum them, then divided by n minus 1. But you can also use this one, but it takes time because you have to take the data point, the value minus the sample mean, and then after you get the value, then you have to square it, then go to the next one. So that means it might take some time, but it's up to you, John. You will see that you are getting the same sample variance for both. So I would say keep reading all of them and keep asking me question in my office hour, or maybe on the discussion page you can actually post. So start early. That's I always see that students who start early ask me questions and post on the discussion page or drop by my office, they really do well in the assignment quiz and also in the midterm and final exam. So if I go to the assignment page, in the assignment page you can see we have 5 assignments. That means for each assignment you have to read those lessons and book chapter. Assignment 1 will be available soon so that you can start working on it. So again I would say read the lesson 1 and lesson 2 and then try to solve those examples and then see how it was actually calculated, all those values, how they solved the problem, also in book chapters 1 to 3, and then you start taking this assignment. This is a quiz type. You will see many multiple choices and then many fill in the blanks, and then I'm asking you to add the ranges and fill in, and then write maybe some values, but I sometimes added some I would say the ranges. But then again, if you miss the exact value, we are not going to deduct marks. Let's say if it is only for 0.1, we're not going to deduct marks because I added some margins in there. So try to maintain the due date. So you will see that I gave you enough time for the first assignment and first quiz so that you actually get to know this course, because this course is self-learning course. It's a distance education course, so you have to read all those assignments and then lessons, and then you have to work on the solving those assignments problems. Also, one more thing I did for you is that I created some groups. I'll show you in another video about those groups. Okay, so I hope you all will enjoy this long weekend, this coming long weekend, and ask me question in my office hour.